This is where we explore how emerging tech, particularly AI, is changing life, society, and maybe even who we are. And today I want to talk to you about something that's been banging around in my head for quite some time. It's a concept that I call babyfication. Now that might sound quite playful, but actually I think it refers to something that could be much more serious. It's the idea that as AI takes over more and more of our thinking, we'll become cognitively dependent. Essentially, a bit like overgrown toddlers. So let me explain. For most of human history, we've lived against a backdrop of hardship and discomfort. In fact, challenges are the things that have defined us. But over the course of history, life has got easier. AI is supercharging that, making life significantly more easy. It's taking away challenges that we've had to cope with for a long period of time. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-tech in any way, shape or form. In fact, I'm all for progress. Over the course of human history, we've made exceptional progress running water, electricity, machines that take away the hardships of life, not to mention medical breakthroughs and things that help us to survive. But it's important to realize that ease has a side effect, a softening side effect, not just physically, but mentally as well. Think of it this way. Every time we outsource something to technology, we lose just a little tiny bit of ourselves. From hunting to driving to even just remembering phone numbers, technology has steadily taken away bits of our ability. AI is now beginning to do the same with thought itself. So we've moved away a little bit from technology helping us just manually, and now it's helping us think and decide. And when you reflect on this, you can see that that's really going to change the game. When machines start thinking for us, it doesn't just change how we live, it changes who we are. And this is at the heart of babyfication, because it's not about us becoming stupid, it's about us becoming dependent. Like with children whose needs are always met, it kind of takes away friction and restricts development and growth. And this isn't all about individuals, this is happening at scale. Now, I view it as a kind of species level shift, one that's enhancing humanity as a whole, but also dulling us as individuals. In fact, I always see technology as being a kind of trade-off. It upgrades us as a species, but has personal side effects. Okay, so now here's the twist. What if that was the plan for life all along? Maybe biological life only needed to evolve far enough to then build its successor. Maybe we were never meant to be the final stage of intelligence. And seen through that lens, then maybe AI isn't an intruder, it's more of an inevitability. Of course, I'm not saying that is definitely the case. I don't know and probably never will. But I kind of find that viewpoint strangely humbling and quite beautiful. But thinking in this way also raises a fairly big question, and that is, are we being cared for by technology or are we being controlled by it? Because when technology becomes so advanced that it can think for you, guide you, entertain you, protect you, is it actually helping us as a tool, or is it kind of a parent? There are more and more people that can see this kind of a future developing where we're almost handing over the reins to technology and they're scared of it. I don't blame them. But my perspective is slightly different, because I don't think the real danger is control. I think the danger is comfort. Because comfort kills resilience. And we can see that in our society. This is a problem because without resilience, you lose growth, agency, and of course, meaning. No challenge means no triumph. No thinking means no insight. And no responsibility means there can be no reward. And that's the massive paradox that I see in progress. As life progresses, technology improves, we become more advanced, things become easier, and yet we become less and less fulfilled because the challenges aren't there. And unless people actively resist this drift into ease, then they risk becoming passengers in their own lives. But here's the good news. Rebellion is still possible. And I don't mean smashing machines, burning computers and all that kind of thing. I mean choosing to do things the hard way sometimes, not all of the time, but sometimes choosing to think, choosing discomfort and choosing struggle as well. Because as we progress into this post-thinking world that we're creating, effort almost becomes a radical act. Choosing to think becomes a radical act. When there's machines, we can just give all our thinking tasks to. And so opting to not always take the easy way becomes a kind of form of resistance. And one of the really important ways that I think people could get on board with that is through play. As we move into the future, I think that play is going to become more and more important. Why? Because it helps us sharpen our minds, exploring, building and creating, not because we have to, but because we want to. And it's a way to fight back joyfully and rebelliously against the world that technology is giving us. And I think over the years, we've lost this ability to engage in play. We've become consumers instead of players, and that needs to change. I think babyfication is a real concept. I think it's here now and it's going to get worse in the future, but you do not have to conform to it. You can choose to live deliberately, to stay sharp and to resist a life that's completely full of automation. And we can do that not out of fear, but because we understand what it means to be human. We respect what it means to be human and we know its value. To be clear, I'm not suggesting that people don't use AI, they don't use automation. In fact, quite the opposite. A lot of my guides and writing suggest that people do. But what I'm saying is we don't want these things to take over our lives, and we have to be really careful and create a balance in what we use them for and what we don't. Anyway, if any of this has resonated with you, then stick around because there's a lot more to come. If you like what I'm doing, then please do like and subscribe to the channel. This is Layered Future. I'm Glenn and we're just getting started. This video was based on my writing over at layeredfuture.com. If you'd like to explore the full article or browse through other topics, you'll find it all there.